And he did address the Blake Lively interview. He basically made a joke about it.
And he said the comment section on the Blake Lively interview.
All right, here's where things start getting messy. Blake Lively stepped onto Late Night with Seth Meyers expecting a clean image reset, but instead, it triggered a full-blown backlash. What looked like a casual interview quickly unraveled into something far more calculated. Reports suggested she didn't just accept the invitation, she pushed for it, allegedly requesting controlled conditions, even limiting audience feedback. Meanwhile, Seth Meyers, known for sharp commentary, avoided every serious issue tied to her ongoing controversy. No mention of lawsuits, no accountability, just safe, rehearsed conversation. And viewers noticed immediately. The tone felt staged, the questions felt filtered, and the entire segment came off less like journalism and more like damage control disguised as entertainment.
Week since Blake Lively went on Seth Meyers, and the backlash was humongous.
Now here's where it escalates. The moment that interview hit YouTube, something felt off, and people caught it fast. The comment section was locked. Completely shut down. And just like that, the internet exploded. Fans accused the show of censorship, calling out what looked like a coordinated attempt to silence criticism. Seth tried to brush it off with a weak excuse about a technical issue, but nobody bought it. The damage was already done. People flooded other platforms, dragging the interview into every corner of social media. And eventually, even Seth admitted he didn't have full control, that Blake's team heavily shaped the segment. That's when the narrative flipped. This wasn't just an interview anymore. It was a controlled performance, and the audience? Completely cut out of the conversation.
Pretending like, oh, I'm here on the victim, I'm talking for all victims, and, you know, it's been a rough year, and blah, blah, blah. She was sitting there in a princess dress, and everyone was like, why are you giving her...
All right, now let's talk contradictions, because this is where everything starts falling apart. During the interview, Blake leaned into emotional storytelling, presenting herself as silenced and targeted. But behind the scenes, the control she allegedly exercised told a completely different story. Critics quickly pointed out the disconnect. Content creators and commentators broke it down frame by frame, highlighting staged applause, carefully timed camera cuts, and scripted delivery. At the same time, Justin Baldoni, the central figure in the legal battle, had practically vanished from public view. No appearances, no statements, nothing. Meanwhile, Blake remained highly visible, attending events and maintaining a strong media presence. That contrast didn't go unnoticed, and it only fueled more skepticism about who was really being silenced.
Meyers apparently thinks it's really funny all the backlash that he received after having Blake Lively.
And just when it couldn't get more complicated, more names got pulled into the storm. Taylor Swift was suddenly dragged into the narrative through legal filings and public claims. Her team quickly denied any meaningful involvement, but previous statements and reported communications didn't fully line up. That inconsistency sparked even more debate. At the same time, Ryan Reynolds added fuel to the fire with public jokes that many felt downplayed the situation. What we're seeing here isn't just a controversy, it's a full-scale PR battle, with multiple high-profile figures trying to manage perception in real time. And the deeper this goes, the more it starts to look like a tightly controlled narrative rather than an organic unfolding of events.
He put her on his show because he wanted views, as simple as that, and he wanted to be the first host who had Blake Lively on as a guest since this scandal started,
Now step back for a second, because this isn't just about one interview anymore, it's about influence. Reports began surfacing that media outlets were hesitant to cover the story critically. Journalists allegedly pulled back, stories got shelved, and conversations were quietly redirected. That kind of silence doesn't happen by accident. Behind the scenes, it points to pressure, subtle or direct, shaping what gets published and what gets buried. At the same time, online discussions kept growing louder, with hashtags trending and audiences questioning everything. The more people dug into the details, the clearer the pattern became: controlled messaging, selective visibility, and a narrative being carefully managed at every level.
Meyers is trying to get away with this by blaming it on someone else, that they shut down the comments.
And here's the part that really hits: real-world consequences. This entire situation didn't just stay online. Reports linked ongoing legal battles and financial strain to the shutdown of organizations connected to the wider controversy, raising serious concerns about collateral damage. Critics argued that while powerful figures fought to control the narrative, others were quietly affected in the background. Funding disappeared, programs ended, and the fallout extended far beyond headlines. By the end of it all, one thing became clear: this wasn't just about reputation anymore. It was about power, control, and who gets to shape the story. So now the question is simple. Is the audience finally seeing through it, or is this just another chapter in a perfectly managed illusion?
Yeah, so he didn't address the fact that there were controversies. He's just like making a joke about it. Same kind of way that Ryan Reynolds would do, I guess, and what he did at SNL. Just allegations, which are serious allegations of age. Why would people just keep making jokes on that video, which only has about 255,000 views, which is